Oh my goodness. How the heck are you doing? Caffeine Fox here. My sister-in-law is still staying here with us, but this time I managed to secure my space. She doesn't know exactly what kind of videos I make, and I didn't want to make it extra awkward. That would be an uncomfortable dinner conversation though.
So hey, how was your workday?
Oh, you know, living the dream.
Oh, I know, Fox boy.
So, I'm still going to try and keep my volume down a little bit while making this. My life is awkward enough as is. So, for today's video, I wanted to dive a bit into con going. Specifically, how to succeed at having a great time at one. At the end of this video, you'll be the king of furry conventions. Or at least a duke or duchess. I haven't made one of these in, I don't know, a few years. And today seemed like as good a day as any to fire up the old con video cannons again. In my previous videos on attending cons, I was still newish to the fandom, so I wasn't aware of several of these things, and that's one of the things I never really considered. I assumed that because I made a video about it, that's that, and life goes on. Unfortunately, I was pretty naive, and as it turns out, there's a whole plethora of information I didn't know about. That's the word of the day, plethora. Some of these might seem like common sense, and that's fine. Your mileage might vary, but I'm hoping that maybe a few of them stick. If any of these tips help you out, let me know in the comment section below. And if you think of any new ones, share them as well. Sharing is caring, and I care. So with that out of the way, let's get into today's video. The first thing you can do to become the ruler of con going is to make use of social media. Now, when I say social media, I don't mean posting pictures of cute suits or how the spaghetti was at the hotel restaurant. By all means, use it for that. One of the benefits of using social media though is it helps people back home who can't go to the con feel like they can at least experience a little bit of it, even if it is through somebody else's eyes. But what I mean by using social media is apps like Telegram. If you create a group in the app, it really helps everybody sync up. A great thing too is the groups don't have to be permanent either. Once the con is over, you can just delete the group and move on. Or for memory's sake, you can always archive the chat for later to look back on and remember all the great fuzzy times you and your friends shared. Having a group chat is useful for several reasons. One of those is you can see if people are ready to head out and grab a bite to eat. Getting people together at cons is a monumental task, and it can sometimes feel like herding actual cats. You make a plan to meet up somewhere, and before you know it, your friends are getting sidetracked in 4,000 different places at once. Now, I'm not faulting anybody for having that happen. Heck, I've had it happen to me on more than one occasion. You'll be walking to where you're supposed to meet up, and you either see a friend you haven't seen in a long time, or somebody wants to get a picture. And before you know it, you're already really late for meeting up with your friend group, or you just forget entirely. Larger cons are notorious for this too. It really is sensory overload, but having the group chat set up with notifications enabled can help speed everything up. Oh, and please, for the love of don't spam stickers in the chat, unless your group is okay with it. Sometimes I've been in group chats for room parties or hotel roommates, and it just devolves into a battlefield of ubu sticker madness. At that point, keeping notifications off might be a good thing. Otherwise, my phone is going to be vibrating more than I do after 3 espressos. So yeah, using a group chat via social media is a great tool to use to become a king of conventions. My next tip is related to using chats as well for cons. Most, if not all cons, use a group or Twitter account to either promote their event or pass along good info to have. If you want to be the Neo of conventions, definitely either follow their pages, join their group chats on Telegram, or both. On a side note, make sure you double check that the group you're in is an official group. Some users will have general chat groups on Telegram that are more open and in the moment. If it's an official announcement channel though, it'll usually be read only and have posts curated by the con staff to relay important information. Using these is important because they can help remind you about the panel you want to attend so you don't miss it. They can also have important safety announcements there as well. So it's usually a best practice to be aware of those groups beforehand. The last thing you want to do is be unaware of safety stuff. Safe con goers are happy con goers. I wish I knew about that earlier, as there were some events that I really wanted to go to, but ended up missing out on attending them. The last thing you want to do at a furry convention is leave feeling like you've missed out on something, especially if it's something that you've been looking forward to for months. A good thing that official con social media also has is schedules. I used to never pay attention to a lot of that kind of stuff until there were panels that I really wanted to attend several cons ago, and now I always download a copy or save the page beforehand. A lot of con sites use a program called Sketch, which blocks events into easy to read segments, and you can even set reminders for events that you're interested in. It's a really handy tool, and I definitely recommend checking out whatever the con has set up. Right about now, you are almost on your way to becoming the king of fur cons. However, there are still some other tips that I think might help your con experience out just a little bit more. Another good tip is to not beat yourself up. Now, what do I mean by that? No, I don't mean actually beat yourself up, but that is definitely something to not do at a fur con as well. What I mean is, cons are a chaotic and amazing place. Everywhere around you are people being themselves and having an awesome time. You can actually feel the energy in the place. Everyone bounces their energy off, and it's kind of like a convention echolocation. With all the sights, sounds, and, well, hopefully not smells, it can be very difficult to not get everything done on your pre-con bucket list. Before the con starts, you might want to meet someone for the first time or see an old friend who moved away. You might want to attend the most amazing panel ever that you could not see yourself missing. Maybe you want to meet the guest of honor and ask them about how they perfect their craft and hear their stories. But all of that can come at a seemingly screeching halt when you attend a con. Because there's so much going on, it can be really, really easy to forget that you had a meet and greet with your favorite YouTuber. Missing out on something you really wanted to do can feel disheartening and even soul-crushing sometimes. The important thing to remember is that you can't control everything that happens at a con, and that's part of what makes it so much fun. We have so much structure in our daily lives that going to a con can feel like a liberating experience. With all that freedom though, it's easy to let events, panels, or hanging out with friends slip you by. It's important to not beat yourself up over missing anything. Cons should be an experience where you go back feeling re-energized, not down in the dumps. PCD aside, feeling sad after a con is over can be prevented if you take it all into perspective. If you realize that you'll most likely end up meeting again at the next con, it can be easier to not get worked up over all of it. If I end up not meeting somebody I really wanted to meet, I make it a priority to catch up with them at the next con they're going to. But yeah, don't sweat the small stuff. Your mental well-being will thank you for it. Another thing to become the ultimate con goer is what you pack with you. Specifically, make sure you bring anything that can help alleviate nasty experiences that can come up. The last place you want to end up is the bathroom after having some fish at the hotel on Friday night. Kind of like when I had the ghost challenge at IFC last year and spent the whole night ralphing it up again, it made my entire weekend 60% worse. I felt emotionally and physically drained of all will to get out of my room and not roll around in pain. Because of that, I had a less than stellar experience at the con I had been looking forward to. I really wish I had packed some Tums or antacids with me, as it would have made a lot of the symptoms more bearable. I definitely recommend packing some of those with you in your suitcase before the con, as it helps out when you least expect it. They're like the superheroes of convention going. They don't take up a lot of room, and it'll be a lifesaver if you ever need any. Along with antacids, make sure you pack headache medicine as well. When your head is in splitting pain, it can be really hard to give that fursuit or a hug that you've always wanted to meet. Headaches at cons suck. If it's dehydration based, it can take time for the water to make the pain go away when you need it the most. Suiting is really, really sweaty. And with all that sweating, if you aren't replenishing the water you lost, you're gonna have a bad time come Sunday morning. If you're of drinking age and your headaches came from a different source, like Long Island iced teas, then in addition to headache medicine, you should also pack an electrolyte-based drink. Things like Gatorade or Pedialyte can help remove some of those nasty feelings you can get after a night of partying it up. I always make sure to carry a few bottles with me whenever I go to a con. So
Yeah.
hopefully these tips help elevate your con to the next level if you haven't been doing any of these yet. I do miss making these types of videos, and it really feels good to be doing another one again. By making many mistakes at previous cons, hopefully these tips can help make yours a tad better. Again, if I missed any tips for having a good con experience, which I probably did, let me know in the comment section below. Together, we can make going to cons 110% better. If you like this content, don't forget to obliterate that like button and subscribe for more caffeinated goodness every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday evening at 3:30 p.m. CST. Additionally, I have a Patreon where you can join on Discord for live streams, receive letters in the mail, and see all that juicy behind the scenes info in my Telegram chat. This link right here, right here, right here. Yeah. Alright y'all, thank you all so much for joining me on today's video, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.
Special thanks to STL Motovlogs, Blueberry Husky, Chase Husky, Sparkle, Ashira Pony, Sylvie Cat, Moodle, DH, Apollo Bunny, Dynamo, Dexo, Amaranth Cantonine, and Cinderkitten.